Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the FTD University webinar titled, What Your Customers Say Matters. Today, you will learn the top 6 ways to get your trusted customers to talk on your business's behalf, as well as how to get your customers to write reviews for your business that reach their friends. Our featured presenter today is Lynn Switnowski-Barrett, President of Creative Business Consulting Group. Using 30+ years of retail experience as her guide, Lynn engages with retailers, e-tailers, and manufacturers to help them create and implement profit-improving sales, marketing, and inventory management strategies. She helps retailers of all sizes understand the opportunities created by changing consumer trends, and she helps retailers to improve their business outcomes by innovating and improving strategies for today's business complexities. Wow, that's quite a mouthful. Once Lynn is finished with her presentation, we will open up the webinar for questions. If you have that question, simply type it in the question box on the upper right side of your screen. Feel free to submit your questions during the presentation and we'll hold those until the end. Please note this webinar will be recorded for future viewing. So let's get started, everyone. Welcome, Lynn.
Thanks, Janet. Yeah, I appreciate your comment on the introduction. When they tell me, I'm like, I just like to help people make money. So I'm excited that we get to do that again today. Thanks everybody for being here. It's January 19th, kind of a crazy time for all of us. Don't know where you are in the world today. I'm coming to you from a remote location in a cold destination. We're up in Canada and we're in lockdown here. So businesses are closed and we are having to make do with curbside pickup and essential only. But it's sort of the way of the world today. And it is a perfect, very ironic time, but perfect way to segue into the topic that we're going to talk about today, which are customer reviews and what your customers say matters. And I know you're all in the business of wanting people to say nice things about your business. And I also know you well enough to know that they do. They love your floral business. They love what you do for them, how you, whether it's go out of your way to make deliveries, the quality, the design aesthetic, all of the wonderful things that you do and bring to your business for your customers, on behalf of your customers, is something to talk about. And if you meet them in the store and they walk in and say, I love what you did for me last time, do that again, that's great. Now what I want to do, and I would love you to sit in this headset today, is to take that same in-person interaction and for your floral business to create a process to make that happen on a daily basis. Every single time, happen every transaction that occurs, but happen digitally so that it has what I call a digital footprint and that it gets delivered via the internet to a bunch of different sources so people can see it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And then I did save time like last time. We had so many great questions last time. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm happy to answer anything. So it's hard for me to see questions during the session, but trust me when I tell you that there'll be plenty of time afterwards. I'll stay as long as you want. Also, just a reminder, in case you are new to this, there'll be a link at the end where you can get the materials from the FTD site. There's also a handout that's attached here. So go ahead and get that if you want to follow along. Janet mentioned what I do. I've been doing this a long time. I'm of course 20 years old, but just in case. So now I want to talk about mostly where do you know where your customers are looking for floral recommendations. In your, if you will, in your head, in your heart, do you understand that your customers come to you, go to their friends, go to their family, that they're talking to other people about a recommendation, right? And that could be an in-person recommendation, and that can be, as we'll talk about today, an online recommendation. So I want to talk about a couple of statistics that hopefully, if you're on the fence, I don't think I have to convince you that maybe reviews matter. Certainly you understand if you've been doing this 5 years or 25 years that people's word of mouth is a great source for your business. But what I like to say is word of internet is the way of 2020. And I want to just give you a sense whether you rely on reviews that are online to make purchases and make purchase decisions, your customers do. Just some statistics. And again, these are all 2020 statistics, so very, very recent. If you look around, 72% of customers don't buy until they've read reviews. And in the same way that some of you are a little older like me and you say, hey, we got testimonials, we got information from trusted colleagues. That doesn't happen today. Online reviews are a credible source of information. 95% of your customers make a review, read a review, I should say, before making a purchase. From a local business perspective, more than 90% of your customers want to shop with a local business and read reviews. So where you sit locally and how many reviews you have in your local community, on your Google business listings make a huge difference. For some of you who follow and use Yelp, a star increase turns into increased revenue to the tune of 5 to 9%. And when a product gets 5 reviews, and this is really what we're going to talk about today, how do you pile up reviews? How do you get review after review? Think about how many transactions your business has per day, per week, per month. And if you come up with a percentage, even a very, very small percentage, let's say you do 50 transactions a week. If you got 5% or 10% of reviews, so that's 5 reviews a week for your business as a goal. That's 1 a day if you're open 5 days a week. How could you get 1 review a day for your business? Because when you do, look at the likelihood, the statistic there. If you get 5 reviews, the likelihood of something being purchased increases by 270%. I could have gone on and on. There's so many great statistics here. The other one that I thought was very interesting was about the price of a purchase. That the higher the price, the item, and the more reviews you can get on that higher price item, again, it translates to a higher conversion rate for customers to buy it. So when I was prepping for this conversation with you guys, it had me thinking about, what can you ask for reviews for? If it's an $80 plus arrangement, if it's, a flower of the month club, if it's a birthday bouquet, if it's part of your loyalty program, whatever you want to drive and how can it help you drive revenue, that's a great place to talk about sort of what kind of things to ask for reviews. But I want to start with the poll. So Janet, if you wouldn't mind launching the poll, and here's the question, okay? What percentage of small businesses have a process? And when I say a process, and I mean a replicable process for capturing, commenting, and asking for reviews daily. So this is something that could be repeated if you were on a week's vacation, if you were out of the office, if you were at a, knock on wood, an in-person trade show. It's a process that happens again and again every single day from your customers for getting reviews. So 4 choices: less than 20% of small businesses, 20 to 45, 46 to 65, right? And more than 65%. 1 more minute here. Keeping in mind, where you think you are, that's certainly how you may answer the question. If you're not participating, obviously, then, you might be taking a guess, but it could be where you are in the process, where your other small business friends are, but really just understanding where you guys are as a collective group. All right, 5 more seconds. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Janet, what do we got?
All right, let's see. Let's share that. So 69% of people said less than 20%, 23% said 20 to 45%, and 8% said more than 65%.
Okay, the answer is 36% of small businesses have a replicable process. So if your answer was based on where you are and that you don't have a replicable process, that's where most of this group sat at A. You're close. It's not as prevalent. What I want to remind you of is where your customers are. Let me just back up for a second. the statistics that I started with here, right? If 36%, right, is this of small businesses have a replicable process. You guys, most of you have less than 20%. Look where your customers are. 95% of them read reviews before making a purchase. 93% of reviews about local business to determine its quality. 72% don't want to do anything before they've read a review. I'm trying to say this so you get the point. There is a gap between what you do to garner a review and what your customers want to see. So that's the point. We have to close this gap and have you guys start getting reviews, getting your business up online so we can basically give your customers what you want. The first thing to do is ask. Almost 90% of small businesses don't ask for reviews. So if you are getting reviews, it's because somebody really, really went out of their way, really, really loved you. Obviously, I'm assuming it's a good review. We all know when they're bad, you know, everybody wants to rush and try and solve that problem. So if somebody's writing you a good review now, it's because you really went over and above. Imagine how many people feel the same way. They just weren't asked and didn't have time and didn't make it a priority, mostly because you just didn't ask them. So let's close the gap by starting to ask. We'll talk about how to do that. Here's the other key. The customers are getting, not just that they want to see reviews, not just that the reviews matter, but they're getting really, let's use the word picky, in that if you look at the other statistic, 84% of customers don't want reviews that are more than 6 months old. Because what that says is, you know, just like if you're not on your social media every day on a regular basis, that you don't exist. If you have an old review, it means nobody's saying things about your business day to day. And that's just as telling as not having any reviews at all. So we don't have any reviews at all. We need to get them. We need to keep getting them so that we have a current style of review. So I want to give you a 6-step plan. And the first one is setting up profiles and what I'm calling on multiple review sites. And the reason I say multiple is, you know, everybody has a business that is that's in different spaces. You know, I want you all to be on Google. That's the number one. And if you haven't updated your Google business listings in the last month or more, frankly, 2 weeks or more, go on after this session and see who's written you a review, add a new photo, add a new video, like something somebody said, send somebody back a comment, add a link to your website, more information on your profile. It is the biggest way and quickest way to help you. Updating your Google business listing on a regular basis, even throwing in some small ads, will help you improve your visibility. 2, I put Facebook here. That's a placeholder for whether it's, you know, getting reviews via Facebook, getting them via Instagram. If you have a YouTube channel where you do demos or things like that. So set up profiles fully on key sites. If you have somebody that's helping with your website, ask them what directories they've got you set up on. That's sort of the next level here. But if you're just starting out, you know, get your Google business listing, get your social media listings, and make sure that it is easy to find a place to review your business on your own website. And you can certainly link that in your social media posts as well to people. So step 1 is set up your profiles and determine, again, within this group, as many of you that are on this call, other than Google, you may take a second direction where somebody else, you know, goes another way. That's okay. Think about your business. Okay, now we get back to those customers and asking your customers to leave reviews. And when I say a habit, I mean, how do we help the process? How do we make it easier for everybody, you, your staff, your customers, to give a review, right? Your customers are looking at reviews. Maybe that's a place to start. How did you find us? Oh, I looked up on Google. That's great. I'm glad you found us there. make a note that's how they found them. When you're done and the flowers get delivered, would you mind giving us a review? We're always interested in, collecting reviews. We always want to find out more information. How can, did we do a good job? Our goal is to be the best we can be, and you giving us a review is how we know that. My note to you here is, obviously your job is to provide excellent products and service, right? So you have to deliver the good quality, arrangement, plant, whatever you're doing, and then ask for the review. But you've got to make it a habit. So a way to think about it is, where do you engage with the customer for a final time, right? So it could be that somebody calls in and places a phone order. It could be that somebody sends you, an email. It could be that somebody, orders, through the site. However they contact you, the answer is reach back out to them. There. How was the quality? We just delivered it. We hope you enjoyed it. Do you have a picture of it? We'd love to see it in the setting it ended up in. So you can engage people and keep the process and get them to actually acknowledge the sale and how good it was for them. Oh God, I asked for a photo. Here it is. They loved it. Right? I was just telling Janet before the session, my mother sent me flowers for Christmas, actually for my birthday, which is Christmas. And I took a picture and sent it to her, and she sent it to the florist. She's like, oh, my daughter loved them. It was great. Like that's the process you want to get going. You want people so happy and so willing to do something for you. If you want your customers to help your business, if they ask you how they can help, oh, we love you. It's difficult during COVID. What can we do to help? Right now, ask for a review. I know you haven't bought something today. If you run into someone at the grocery store, how are you doing? We're doing okay. We're doing, we're busy. We had a nice Christmas. Thank you for asking. We really appreciate all your local support. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. Actually, there is. Would you mind going on and writing a review about the last time you bought flowers from us, the last time we did something for you? We're launching a new campaign. We're trying to get more reviews. It would be really helpful. Here, by the way, in my pocket is a card that shows you all of our review sites. I would really appreciate it. If you just did that to people you know in the local community, gave cards to your employees to do the same thing, you will start to pile up a lot of reviews really quickly. And you'll see how fast they can add up. Make it easy to leave these reviews, right? So I mentioned a card, and what I mean is a business card is now becoming, I call it a review card, and it is a link to all the places that customers can leave reviews. You all know that if you're not on Yelp and you ask someone to go leave a Yelp review, it's not as powerful as if somebody is logged in under Yelp and writing a review for a business already. So you can leave a Yelp and say, oh, are you on Yelp? Do you participate in Yelp? And they're like, yes, great. Here's a link to our Yelp page. Here's a listing to our Google business listing. Here's our Facebook page. Here's our Instagram page. Here's our website, right? So that's what you could put on that, what I call the review business card. It's really that critical to your business. And if you wanted to do a two-sided card and have your contact information, great, and then this review on the other side, any single marketing material that you send out. So if there is an email that you send out on a regular basis, make sure to add a dialogue or box that says, had a good experience, want to share with us, click here to write a review. And list, click here to write a review on Yelp, click here to write a review on Facebook, and put those logos right into your email. Any emails you send out, direct to customers, link. Anytime, any marketing communications is the bottom line. How many different ways do you communicate with your customers? And then how many ways can you ask differently, right? Quickly, let me just give you 3 or 4. 1, ask your current customers for review. That's I ran into someone at the grocery store. Somebody is leaving and walking out with a bouquet. Would you mind giving us a review? We have a tablet right here. If you have 2 seconds, you can just go in and log in and do that. Here's a card, take it home with you. I can text you a link where you can write a review. If you get our email, if you get our local flyer, whatever those things are. So a video, somebody, getting a surprise floral arrangement, share the video. Thanks so much. We're so glad you enjoy them. Did you have a good experience? Question mark. We'd love to hear from you. Link here. So any different way on as many platforms as you can, you get the point that I'm trying to obviously nail home here is any different way on a regular basis all the time. So how do you make it? And if you would just say, I need a process, right, for doing so. My kicker box here, as I like to say, the ask immediately. People have a reaction to something when it's just happened. So it could be that, they walked out. That's why I was saying ask right when they leave your location. You delivered flowers for someone, send them a follow-up contact via text, via, email, via, a physical phone call. Following up, did the delivery occur as you expected? Did they enjoy it? If so, we'd love to hear a review. So again, just another process. Again, my summary here, in-person, email, social media, call, right? Website. Obviously you're sitting here and working with me on this, you know what I mean? Are there other people that can help? Are there programs? There's a lot of text messaging loyalty programs out there. They have review sections attached. If you have any direct mail pieces that go to your customers, some sort of seasonal catalog, you've got Valentine's Day, you've got Easter, you've got Mother's Day. This is the perfect time of year to ramp up your reviews. Like if you miss Valentine's Day, fine, but you can get the process going so that by the time Easter comes around and all those flower deliveries are made, you have this process in place. And then Mother's Day, you have this process in place. And then those weddings or whatever you do, and knock on wood, right? We're going to have physical weddings again. But the idea is the first half of the year, and that comment about 6 months old, it actually then gets you to the next big holidays, which are the Thanksgiving and the Christmas. So those reviews are constantly coming in. Now they're current. Now that helps your future sales. So the next thing, and again, in terms of our steps, right? Set up your review sites, ask directly for reviews, make it easy to set up reviews. Then you got to thank people. And when I say thank them directly on the site, you need to put a reminder on your calendar, you or whoever is doing this for you, to go into Google business listings, 2-3 times a week. Once you start to get reviews on a regular basis, go in there and thank people for writing a review. I know your mother taught you not to say thank you for saying thank you, but it's a way of you acknowledging that that you heard them and you appreciated them taking the time to write that review. If it happened on Facebook, mention, go back there. If it came through your website, send the reply directly through there. Thank them where they left the review, because it's what is easier for the customer to see. Not having to do with you, it's about your customer. Oh, that's my phone. Hold on. Sorry, I dropped my phone in the middle of our session here. My pro tip here is surprise somebody who writes a review by doing something nice for them. Discount code, a freebie. We just want to say thanks. Not every time, not to everybody. Give your staff the ability to do this. Just something to surprise and delight. Just because. It's a nice way of getting buzz going, and it's really, really simple to do. Could be, like I said, a small discount code on a future purchase. That's very different than incentivizing somebody to write a review. It's actually done completely the opposite of that, which is you took the time. We, as a floral business, wanted to say thank you for taking the time. And you're going to watch how customers become evangelists. Oh my God, I just wrote a review and they gave me this. What a nice place. And the flowers were gorgeous. It was amazing. I love them. Now you've got a diehard person that talks about your business more than you ever could. Don't forget to share reviews across platforms. So, these obviously are some Yelp reviews. There are some social media reviews, but you can cross post them. You can take a Google review and throw it up on your Facebook page. You can take a Facebook review and send it back to your Google. So cross post, make sure that you share them across platforms, and you can cut and paste. This particular on Facebook one, this customer is recommending this flower shop, but there's tons of people that wrote reviews just in your review section. Go in and cut and paste those reviews out of the review section into the feed portion of the review. You're doing a great job with Instagram today. Pull a bunch of reviews and make an Instagram story of reviews. People wrote nice things about your store, coincidentally, last Valentine's Day. Perfect time to start up with those reviews. Go in, you got pictures of floral arrangements, roses, flowers, some stuff you did last year. People loved it and wrote you, sent you pictures, sent you videos. Now is the perfect time to regularly to share those, if you will, and say 2-week reminder, 3-week reminder. Falls on a Sunday this year, last delivery is going to be here, don't miss out, right? We have to do it in advance. And then the piece here that's critical. So I'm reminding you that you have to make it part of the plan. You have to create the process. To make this work, it has to be communicated by every employee, every single transaction, whether they're giving or receiving. So the process that you put in place, you have to train your employees to get reviews. If you want to share this presentation, show them the gap. The customers want to see reviews and we're not doing it, so it's a problem. We have to close the gap. Make sure your employees understand. And then to get them to do it, create a little incentive how to do it. Could be the person who gets the most reviews, prorated on the hours they work, get something. And I made a note here, something they would like. I always kid around if I'm at a physical trade show, you get those free gifts. They give you lanyards, to put your name tag on. Like, you can't give them the free stuff. Give them something they want. One thing that I know works really well is a couple of hours pay. Another thing, people may want a gift card for a restaurant or a takeout. One of my clients made it a very big deal and said, hey, this is really important to us. And they gave away concert tickets because it was important. They were a young staff and they gave them tickets to Justin Timberlake concert, and they blew away their numbers because everybody wanted to win. So make it personal, make it worthwhile, make it fair for everybody. Train them how to do it, what the process is, what the goal is, how often we want to get them, how many we want to get, give them an incentive, update them on, how it's working so that it becomes a pattern and a process. And that's how you'll be successful. So the question I have for you is, are you ready to get your customers talking, right? We talked about 6 steps for a review. Here's some things you can do today, right? Pay attention to the reviews that you already have. What are they telling you? What are customers writing? And sharing those, with your customers via your social media feeds, on your websites, in blurbs, on your emails. You can utilize those. Did you get great reviews for things you did at Christmas time? For this first quarter, use some of that stuff. You want to go back and grab a couple to show what kind of you can do for Valentine's Day, grab those too. Make sure that people know where to review you, right? It's that card that I was telling you about, really, really simple way. But also start out by asking yourself, where do I want people to go? And that's Google, and then that's my social media, and then that's my website. And then the process is, how do we get those on a regular basis? Everybody asks, and I'm sure that if I didn't get to this, one of your questions would be, but what do I do with a bad review? You hit it head on. You acknowledge that you are sad, you are the owner of the business, and that this is not typical conversation, and that you would like to talk about it. I want to add a caveat here because in number 3 here, drive this conversation offline, and I think the caveat there is once it's too resolved or too far or cannot look like it can't be resolved. I want to make sure you understand your customers are looking for information online, so they want you to answer online. They don't want you to go into a corner to deal with it. That means you're hiding something. So drive the conversation offline once you talk to somebody with a phone call, talk to them, but answer them in the public space. And then again, make reviews as easy as possible to get. All right. Okay. I'm looking at the time. We did it. I've just got 4:30 here. I'm sorry that I just finished, but I'm gonna be here for as long as you want to ask questions. Don't forget, you want, besides if you have to run, you have a question, you know where to email me. You want to get a copy of the presentation. You want to view this again. I love that this organization makes this content available for you. Their goal is to help you get better at doing all of this. So please make sure to download the materials. Okay, do we have any questions that came in, Janet, while I was talking there?
Hi, Lynn, thanks for sharing. That was a lot of great information. And I know everybody's probably still digesting and kind of forming as we move forward. So yes, we are open for questions, as Lynn mentioned. So as a reminder, if you have a question, type it in that question box that's on the upper right side of your screen. And then we've got a question from Cindy. What's the easiest place to start getting reviews?
Your front door. Let me say this, if you are not prepared to take all of this on, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Breathe, and then think about the next person that walks in. And again, if your front door is open, if you have curbside delivery, fine, same thing. Like that's our new front door today. So ask your current customers for a review. We hope you enjoy this. This delivery that's going out on your behalf. We're going to follow up with you to make sure that it was, done to your satisfaction. You loved, somebody comes in and says, I loved what you did. Perfect. Can I ask you to write us a review? That would be really helpful. So people walking in the front door, creating a transaction, create a path to connect with them again. Whether it's, I'd love to follow up with you afterwards. If you're happy, we'd love to get a review. If it's an online transaction, follow up with an online communication. Want to follow up, make sure you liked it. Here's a link, please review. So the first place is the people that are in front of you right there. And then, what do you call it? And then layer on, write up your listings. You know what I mean? Get this process, write up the process, talk to your staff about it. Again, simple today, the other thing you can do is change your email today, and write it at the bottom of your email. If you'd like to write us a review, click here. How's that?
Thanks, Lynn. We've got a question from Jeffrey. How do you share a review from Google to other platforms?
So that is you can do a cut and paste. Like Google has a URL link to it. So if you were to just, if you will, even a print screen, like I did on this presentation, which was just a print screen there. So you could do a print screen and post it in as a picture. You can do a URL link. The idea is you want to tell people there's lots of places to go look for information. Want more information about our business? Go check out our Google reviews. You want more information? Go check out our Yelp reviews. Here's our website. We post a bunch of reviews there. This review comes from Facebook. So there's, you're basically teaching your customers how to find out more information about you.
Oh, it looks like Lynn's frozen. I'm sorry, everyone. Hopefully she'll be back with us in just a second. Well,
I'm so sorry. I was just going to say, it said for some reason I lost the audio connection. My apologies.
Oh, well, glad you're back then.
Does that make sense, Jeff? I hope that does. It's really that you just want to share it across a bunch of different platforms to tell people where to go look for more information.
All right, we've got another question from Amy. Hopefully you're still there, Lynn.
I am here.
Okay.
I just went away. I'm not sure why. Sorry about that.
Okay.
What do you got for me? Bring it on.
Is it appropriate to ask for reviews with the delivery?
You know, I think it is. I think you have to figure out how to do that, and it's teaching people how to, which is we've included in your delivery a review card. If you're satisfied, or if you want to tell, we're anxious to learn about this, how we did. Please review. You know, do you love your flowers? Do you whatever? And maybe that's how you phrase it. Do you love your floral delivery? Share with, we'd love it if you'd share it with a friend. So you can ask for what I would call a soft, which is, we'd love to hear how we're doing. We love to hear how you enjoyed this. And included in your delivery packet is, some food for the plants, and right, just like instructions, use this in this way so that cut the flowers so they last longer. And then this next piece is, if you were happy with this, we'd love for you to go online and give us a review. So it's the same kind of ask. You have to educate people on how to help you.
Great, thanks, Lynn. All right, well, it looks like we are out of questions for today. So
okay.
I just want to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. If you would like to view it again or share it with your coworkers, our webinars, as Lynn mentioned, are available on demand, and they will be on the FTD Mercury Network Florist YouTube channel. We will be sending a very brief survey to gather feedback on today's webinar, so we really appreciate it if everyone takes just a minute or two, complete the survey, and help us improve future webinars and other education programs for you. Our next FTD webinar is scheduled for Tuesday, April 20th, titled People Power, the Energy That Propels Your Store. And Lynn Switnowski-Barrett will be back with us to share tools to help train and develop your associates to engage with customers wherever your floral business meets them. You'll learn tips, tools, and tactics of how your employees can communicate, engage, and sell via digital devices every single day. And that registration will be available soon at ftdi.com. Thanks everyone for joining us today.
Bye everybody. Thanks for being here. Good luck.